A lot of people get this question wrong, and I think it's really a great example of how if you're thinking about the SAT as just kind of like this series of random questions where you just kind of go with what seems best, yeah, you're going to get stuff like this wrong consistently because it seems random, it seems hard, like we need to understand what's going on here and we got to really think about the shrimp and all that. But like me, if you're like me and you think of this as, no, this is a game and there are certain rules that the SAT follows, and if you know the rules and play by those same rules, the answer should be fairly obvious. You should be able to get this question right and be very confident in it. And so the big overarching strategy we're going to use is one of my favorites, narrow your focus. Right? So there's a couple places where we're going to do that here. First and foremost, this is a goal question. They're giving you a goal in the question itself, so you should pay attention to what they want, and you should make sure you give them what they want. Which choice most effectively sets up the information in the next sentence? So we're looking here. I know that there's a lot of stuff before that. I get it. Doesn't matter. They told us to look at the next sentence. Focus on the next sentence. If you really want to read the stuff that comes before, you can. But I think you're making yourself susceptible to traps. The next sentence is the thing we care about. So we're going to narrow our focus to right here. And when we do, we want to condense that next sentence as much as we can. What is it really about? What's its topic? Well, it starts with two simple words. They feed on the Loihi shrimp and other organisms that are overcome by the toxic plumes of volcanic gas and ash. Well, it seems like it's about a couple things, right? It might be about the gas and the ash, and there are some choices that are going to seem like they're also about the volcano. But it's not. It starts with they feed. Whatever we were just talking about in the underlined sentence, we're now talking about how they feed. So we want to match that idea. What has to do with feeding? That's the choice. Feeding. Choice A. Shrimp of that species also graze on bacterial filaments as juveniles, resulting from their ability to cope with the noxious environment around the volcano. Well, that's about the volcano. It's about the noxious gas. But it has nothing to do with feeding. Wrong. But their adaptations are not yet fully understood by the scientific community. Nothing to do with feeding. Maybe some of those adaptations are feeding, but it doesn't say that, so that's no good. Thriving in an unusual ecosystem that also includes crabs, limpets, and barnacles. Well, this is about the shrimp, not these other things. But also, unless they talk about eating those other things, I don't care about them. And choice D hopefully is going to have our magic word, but as adults, their claws are large enough for the shrimp to be predators. A predator is a thing that eats other things. It's about eating. That's the answer because of that one word matching the word that we pulled out of that previous sentence. And if you can get good at doing that, a lot of these ideas, questions, these goal questions will become really, really simple. The problem that most people have is they're just like all over the place. They're not focused on what the SAT is asking of them. So they're reading things they shouldn't be reading, and they're focusing on ideas that don't matter, and they're really trying to get a very in-depth understanding of the lines, when that is not what we want. We want a simple understanding. If we narrow our focus to the right ideas, it'll be obvious what the answer is because it'll match, and there'll be no other matches. This is a perfect example of that. Think about this question as you keep practicing for the SAT. You want to do what I just did as much as possible. Narrow your focus to fewer ideas and have a clear sense of what you're looking for whenever you read stuff. That includes the reading section as well, both reading and writing.